Will he be able to get away from this? But the normal hit will just be enough for him to be taken down. But oh my goodness, they want more. Smoothie will be going in.
We the top 10, UGK the major, way not play it don't stop here. Traffic lights, we going, know the time until the clock, man. Hands on road, we doing digi to the
was able to let him live. But here we go, the second turtle out fighting for their life. And Xavier has been successfully taken. The turtle for tonight's second match. For tonight's first match. And here we go on the jungle lane once again. They're fighting on for their lives, and King takes down Jay alongside with Cinco. Look at that pull coming in from their diggy.
Purple.
The triple kill. Maniac! Could this be a savage? It seems like
Could be a savage. They are
This could
trying
be a
to take
savage.
stress here. If you're gonna be converting that into an item, that is gonna be a really big, just like as big as this crossbow coming from this Scythe. But Cult of Altar will be used to counter. Cult of Altar is there, but they are swarming towards that
Double
turret.
kill?
They are under that base. It's gonna be a double kill coming from that Irithel, but a kill is there coming from Emil as well. And now they will be forced to go into the base. They will be trying to at least
Oh my
defend
God,
this one. It's
legendary.
gonna be DOS, the last
it's a
man
wipeout.
alive. But it's not gonna be enough. And it's gonna be the side of Ladies' Choice winning that game number 1 in less than 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness. It seems like they have no idea. They literally have no idea, and it's gonna be a free turtle for the side of Xavier. Pushing into the mid.
It seems like they're gonna go for more. Bit of a damage, but not enough. But this time it's gonna be the Blazing Duet in. But let's see what more can the side of Ladies' Choice do. That's gonna be another.
Oh my god. Moving on, and it looks like they're gonna be attempting to take the first Lord. Quattro is gonna be going in for that kill, taking as much damage and giving as much damage back as much as possible. Look at Xavier here waiting in. He's lurking like a lion right now on top of the wall. Looking at that shot, looking at King here. Look at that bursting in. Who has the Lord? And Quattro takes the Lord for the secure, but it looks like he gets double killed. King gets killed, and Xavier is currently moving on to mid side, while Smoothie is trying his best to fight Quattro. At the same time, in defense with Jay, look at that wall block. He got blocked out of the way for his escape and gets traded in by Quattro. Look at that forceful entry coming in from Quattro. Looks like the second Lord is finally been out. I'm not sure if there's gonna be an early attempt of taking the Lord, but at the same time, Barbecue Jay and Quattro are currently lurking around the bushes, checking for an opportunity. And it looks like looking at Tres here, pushing in. Muhammad gets almost half health depleted from his life bar. But as you can see, look at Smoothie with the ultimate and barely misses toss. But no, it's in by Cinco. Look at the playoff coming in from the mid side. Cinco taking down a Mil. Smoothie taking down Quattro. Down to a 3v4 situation. Ito na naman. Kaibigan, Xavier taking down their Sicilian. And it looks like there's gonna be an immortal play coming in from Jay.
Turret has been taken down, and he as well will be going down. Right now, that's gonna be fatal play connecting into two. That was a great play. Double kill coming from this
Oh my
one.
god.
And one by one, they are falling onto the hands of the members of this team. And it's gonna be the side of Ladies' Choice winning this one in a fashion. The ball 2-0, but wait, still
The
no.
wave's still not there. 15 seconds
no
left
wave.
before Tres comes back. But I think it's gonna be the end.
It's gonna be the end.
The victory. It's the victory for Ladies' Choice. Oh my goodness. Ladies' Choice, that comeback. Oh my god.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final day of xglobal.ggx Guilds Arena Season 3 MLBB Guilds Revenge. We are here today. I am Ellen. This is Chino with me. Chino, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, my brother. I'm actually excited for today's today's final match, for today's actually for today's games.
Mm-hmm. Today's games will be the battle for third between B4G and Taguild, and the grand finals
Sure.
that will be commenced later on between 10xGG and
And
MOJO.
Mojo.
So
Yes, sir.
remember, guys, this event is brought to you by and sponsored by VMG, T-Rex Arena, and Lootbox, and of course, we have a $5 giveaway for the top share. Keep in mind, this is not the shares on your timeline, but the shares on different groups. So if you have a Mobile Legends group that you are in, you should share the stream to that group and to many more so that you can increase your chances in winning that $5, of course. Prize pool for this event, 300 USD, $100 going to the viewers, and 200 to be shared between the top three teams for this event. And I think our teams, they're getting prepared. Give me a little bit of context, Rashid, about what happened yesterday, what went on, and what kind of games went down.
So yesterday, actually, the last match was between 10xGG and B4G. Now they had a very let's say how do you say this? A very breathtaking match. So it was a best of three, and actually it went to to game three, and going back, both teams of 10xGG and B4G really had to fight for everything, because it's the, what do you call this? It's the match that will decide who will be in the finals and who will be battling for third. So going there, some key players that I would have to shout out or to speak up is Panginoon 1011 and Rigor of B4G. While in the lineup of Tag Guild, it has to be AGX and Andrea Cutie. So those four people are the most impactful players in their lineups. Oh, El, I think you're muted.
Sorry, my bad. So I was saying, to note from yesterday's games, I think you mentioned it to me, Chino, that Tagil does not have a consistent jungler or core player, right?
Yes, sir.
And something to note as well is Gilshon has 100% win rate. So
Yes, so far
going to
from going back to the LMs until now, Gushin still has a 100% win rate.
Yeah, so moving forward, it's actually going to be crazy to see in the draft that
Mm-hmm.
will we see a Gusion be banned or will the Gusion blessing be true for either of the team? We don't really know how they will really play until they really match each other up, but we'll see. We're waiting for the last player here on our lobby, and I believe that it's going to be in a quick minute, guys. Don't forget to share, to comment on the stream. We can see all of your comments here on every single platform. And guys, again, $5 for this top share on every single group that you are in. Shares on your timeline does not count. Of course, big shout outs to our High One and High One from the Guild for helping organize this event. And for, of course, our sponsors, T-Rex Arena, VXG, and Loot Box Fund.
Thank you
So,
guys. Thank you guys.
Chino, give me some context on the final matchup for the grand finals, 10xGG versus Mojo. Uh,
So
go ahead.
So yeah, in the final matchup, it's Team Mojo versus 10xCG. And one thing I can say is both teams have the aggressive lineup. They all have their aggressive heroes to pick. So, and yeah, that's their most comfortable heroes to pick. All of them are aggressive, and both teams actually use the Gushen. They actually use the Gushen blessing to their advantage, because every time the Gushen goes into their favor, it's almost 100% guaranteed win. And yeah, that's about it. That's the only thing. We'll just have to see what they have in store for us in the finals.
Yeah, Gushon really, really coming through for this tournament. It's quite, I would say, I'm not really updated with Mobile Legends, but it's
Mhm.
quite very surprising pick, if I would say. You have seen him in pro play. He's actually being picked right now in
Yes.
a lot of different leagues. His power being as an assassin, going around the map, targeting those squishies in the backline, especially the other core if you're playing an assassin core as well, and the marksmen that are going to be very, very squishy given that they are building just damage if you delete a player from the other team, it's already a 4v5. It's already an advantage to your team. Not to mention that mostly the Gushons will be playing core and they will be the ones holding that retribution, taking down the objectives as well. So if you were in this tournament, Chino, what type of Gushon would you build? Would you build
I
a
will
tank,
still have to build the
tanks?
jungle, the
Mm-hmm.
jungle Gusion, because it really, let's say it really multiplies the damage output that it gives by the retribution, and yeah. But actually, during the LMs, I actually
Mm-hmm.
saw a Gusion pause 4, so it's a support role. It was used by, I think, by Team MOJO.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, rather than using it for the jungle position, they used it as the position 4. So that was kind of, let's say, mind blowing, because they used it for a different purpose, but they still won nonetheless.
Yeah, all pick will be picked here right now, Chino, and I believe that the game is going to be starting. We are seeing right now on the screen, or at
Hmm.
least in our screen, that it's
Yeah,
check
actually,
ping.
that's
I
right. Yes. So they're just
producer did
warming up.
notice the check ping, so they're just warming up, but yeah, they're not gonna show in each other's cards. I thought that it's going to be the final locked-in. Why am I seeing what do you call this? Fanny of all things in this meta, right? So check ping before we get started, and I think in this best of three, once we get the check ping started here, Chino, we're going to be seeing adjustments. So if you were also in this game, would you adjust to banning that Gushon if you're not really comfortable with it, or would you just pick it because it's so strong, and even if we're not really used to that champion, to that hero, will we actually try to win with it?
If I were in either of this, well, actually, if I have to call out the team of Taggled, because
Mm-hmm.
during their games, I haven't seen them use the Gusion. So they're the only team that hasn't used the Gusion blessing. So if I were the team Taggled, I would prefer banning the Gusion, because Team B4G actually used the Gusion twice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a no brainer that I would really ban for it to have a higher chance of success. And yeah,
Not really quite their cup of tea. Tagel the Gilshan pick,
yes,
especially that they have rotating core
lineup.
players here.
Mhm.
Yeah, Andre Cutie and AJX, I believe, were the two players playing that core position. So
Mm.
if none of these two players can play Gushon and if they're not actually using it per se, up until this point, well, it's going to be very, very hard for them if they were to build or to go up against a Gushon. So they'll probably ban. So if the chat notices we're just talking about Gushon, well, he's just really a very prominent pick in this tournament because he's been picked, and every time he's been picked,
Mm.
it's always a win. So the
Always a win.
automatic W, very, very much a dangerous opposition as we are going to head into the game after this check ping from the players. Bets here, Chino. Who do you think will win out on this battle for third best of three?
I don't want to be biased,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have to go with B4G. They kind Since if ever the Taggle will not ban the Gushen, and that will be a sign of like a gift. It's a gift wrap, right?
Mm-hmm.
For given to B4G, and if they get the Gushen, I would have to go to the Gushen to B4G side. Actually,
Yeah.
for game one,
Mm-hmm.
I just for game one.
For game two, probably the adjustments will be shown.
Yes.
Maybe a Gushan ban if they actually let it win game one.
Mhm.
Probably picking the Gushan themselves. They were hiding it all along. Why did they not use it earlier? Maybe something stronger. Maybe a tank core.
Jungler,
What do you think?
yes.
Uh,
Actually, in the meta, the tank junglers like Balmond, Akai, they're actually still in the meta, but they're kind of picked less and less,
mm-hmm,
because more and more fighters right now are being buffed by Moontoon. So for example, Leomord, he's been buffed recently. Martis and some other fighter heroes. So I think we're gonna see a lot more fighter heroes in this tournament.
Yeah, especially with the addition of Fredrin, I think he's
Mhm.
already available, and other tank heroes like Barrett's not being able to quite capably fight against
Mm.
these brand new fighters and the buffs coming through as well with the heroes you mentioned. It's really hard to pick a tank jungler in these days. So Assassin Juggler it is. We're gonna have to see whether we're going to see fighters. Paquito is also a possible
Yes,
pick
Paquito.
here. But again, we're looking at Tagil. If they ever try to pick themselves, let's say, a fighter rather than an assassin like Gushon, like I think it's Natalia, we're going to be seeing them pick a fighter. And it depends on which fighter they pick that will determine their uh, outcome for this best of three. So very much these players are ready. We're just getting them into the lobby after they check their ping. And Rashid, how are you? How's Halloween? We're basically spending the Halloween theme. How was your Halloween, my guy?
So yeah, since it was the common or it was the norm that a lot of people would go back to their provinces for this past long weekend, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. So I just spent my long weekend here in my dorm, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually went home to my grandmother's house back in Quezon City. So yeah, I kind of put it in the 50-50, or I spent half of my time to my friends and half of my time to my grandmother. So yeah, how
Yeah.
about you? How about you, El?
We got hit by a typhoon,
Yeah,
sadly.
yeah, I heard.
Supposedly it was last week. We just got
Mhm.
moved to this weekend because the typhoon hit us, and we already hope that those hit by the typhoon have already recovered. Emergency relief has all been sent their way, so we're actually pretty okay right now. We're ready to get into this tournament. Best of three battle for third between B, 4G on the blue side, and Tagilled on the
The
red
red
side.
side.
So with the red side, I would say disadvantage here, Chino. What would you think the draft will look like? How would it come down to these players picking their priorities? And speaking of priorities, what exactly are the priority picks of both teams?
Um, since B4G will be the first team to pick. What I think one of their priorities would be will have to be the Masha, because Panginoon 1011 on his Masha actually was very pesky, he really did his job as the explainer of B4G. So I think their priority pick right now is the Masha. In the side of in the side of Taguild, I think their priority pick will be either the Clint or something else, because they really have a very flexible lineup. So their lineup is very deep. So as you can see here, they already banned the Masha, because I think they did their research against B4G.
Yeah. Masha, a fighter, we expected this to be the case. So if not, they're not gonna go for assassins. They're gonna go for the fighter. So Masha will be banned out here for the side of. Unfortunately, it's Tagil banning out some their strength. So 1-1 and Atlas on the other side for B4G. We're going to be seeing the second ban come in here for Tagil. And if it's not the Gushon, I guess they're already giving out game one. But who knows here, Gino? We're not really seeing the recent fix of Valentina or Gushin ban. So the Valentina will be the ban out. What are your thoughts on this?
And now they banned the Valentina. Actually, they were very consistent on banning out the Valentina. I don't think they want to play against a hero that has the capability to steal your ultis. So they had to ban it very consistently. And now we see the Gusion, just like we said earlier. If Tagil does not ban the Gusion, uh, B4G will certainly pick it. But I think since they opened it, I think they have something in mind or something up their sleeve to counter it. And now we see
Yeah.
the Faramis pick in the side of Tagil.
Tagilled with the Faramis pick, quite I would say reworked if I'm
Yes, it's
correct.
very work, and right now it's a very powerful hero to be used, especially in the pro scene. And actually, last night or
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, uh, all of the teams that picked the Faramis actually had a high win rate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a game changer, since the ulti of the Faramis makes you gives you a second life, especially during the clash.
Yep, that's pretty much a hard counter, basically, to Gushon. If you were given a second life after you get bursted down, that's basically almost a cheat. Faramis and Grok here going up against Matilda and Gushon.
And
Not
Celine.
really, and Selena, not. I guess you would say this is pretty much a dive composition
Yes,
going
it's
down.
it's a very aggressive, and like I said, it's a dive composition since Matilda with his Matilda Airlines his ult makes you dash or makes you target one enemy, and yeah, you can practically fly over that enemy. And with Gushen's ult also, where he can blink anywhere, and the Selena's very far arrow, and yeah, it's a very aggressive, but looking to it, it's a very magical lineup so far. So they have to, if I were in the side of B4G, I have to balance it out. So they have to pick a physical damage position tree as well as a marksman that mainly deals physical damage.
Yeah. Physical damage is the key, so Balmond will be banned out here. Pretty much
Your
expected
team
that
is picking.
he's gonna go to the XP lane, of course, for B4G. But to no surprise, I feel like also this composition from Tagel counters basically the B4G composition, if I'm correct, because they have the Grok, they have the Akai, and
What's
they
your
have the
command?
Fanny
Your team
as
is
well
picking.
that can easily just dodge all of the incoming dive coming down from the side of B4G. The Melissa will be hovered, not yet picked here. So again, it's gonna come down to mobility, and it's gonna come down to just finding that right pick, not taking a lot of fights. But yeah, last pick hovered out would be, I
Melissa
guess,
and Grab.
the Uranus. Yeah,
Grab.
that's gonna run them out. They don't have a tank.
Your
They need
team
that.
is
They need
picking.
that one.
So going back, it's very questionable with the last bans of both teams since B4G's AD05 actually has a high win rate on this Farsa. So it's very confusing that they banned his own hero, although he already picked the Selena. While in the side of Tag Guild, they banned the Balmond. So they thought that they thought that the Gushan of B4G will be going to the mid side rather than going to the jungle. So now we see the last pick of Tag Guild being the Clint, and yeah,
Pretty much a mobile carry, if I would say, a mobile marksman to come in pair for that combination of the Grok wall into the Akai ultimate. He's just gonna spin around, gonna try to actually get themselves a pick using the wall of the Grok. And not to mention, they're both spinning here, the Fanny and the Akai. Spin to win is the key here for the side of Tag Guild. They have a pretty rounded composition, though
yes,
I feel
sir.
like it's lacking on magic damage, don't you think, Chino?
In regards to the magic damage, yeah, it's kind of lacking since their only magic damage provider will be the Faramis.
5
Although,
seconds till the enemy reaches the
despite
battlefield.
having a
Smash
weak
them.
physical damage output, they have an explosive physical one with the Clint and the Fanny, and it's a very sustainable lineup. If you see it, it's a Grok and Akai lineup. So yeah, it will be pretty hard to burst going with the Paramis ult, the Cult Altar. So yeah.
Yeah. Game number 1 is coming down right now, guys. Don't forget to share to groups so you can get a chance to win that $5 in prize. Going to start off with a catch onto the jungler. The first blood onto the Fanny. Thankfully, for the side of B4G is not looking too great. As a start for Tag Guild, AD will get that kill and they will proceed onto the red buff. Alto will be here. They will get another one. That's already very, very quick. I didn't even see it happen. Aito on that Faramis will trade one back out, securing that red buff, but I think the damage has been done too early here as they're trying to go for the re-aggress onto the top side of the lane. Not going to find any kills just yet, but it's very, very dangerous. The Matilda is in critical condition. They're gonna go for the re-engage. They're gonna get the kill. G-Nub will come down. Melissa out of the game for now. And it's already a bloody start. 1 minute 30 seconds into the game, Chino.
So like we talked about pre-game, we saw that the the side of B4G really has a dive composition with the Matilda, the Selena, and the Gushen. While the side of the side of Taggle, they have a very what you can say, punishable. They can punish those dives. They really put their composition to those diving powers of B4G.
Yeah, we're going to see a kill come in already on the top side. As you were speaking, Andre Cutie not looking too good on that Clint 0-2 already. But I guess that's going to be expected, especially if your composition is going to try and re-hit once the engagement already happened. But that's not the case here for the side of our Taggle. They're both low. Faramis and Akai trying to just bounce out of that lane. Same goes for the Matilda, but no harm, no foul just yet. They get a lead in terms of kills, but good thing that this Fanny is going to be farming up the wall a bit too late here, but he's just gonna go the other way. The Uranus quite a counter to these physical carries, especially with that tankiness. Going to be the Abyssal Arrow missing on the top side, but so far not a very eventful second minute to the game. And if we can get an item check right now just to see who is going to be in the lead. So far, boots are up for both of the teams and a lot of physical damage indeed here, Chino.
So going with the composition of B4G, we can see that they don't really have a hard stun that can lock on the Fanny. So they can't focus on the Fanny, but now we can see that they focus on Vigor instead.
That's going to be the kill onto the Fanny. He's gonna get that one as a gift. They're gonna try to re-engage, but not quite enough. Who needs a grab anyway if you have Jewel Cutie on the Akai, just locking them down onto the backside of the Lord Pit. Here comes the Fanny from AJX. Is going to be the core player. Forgot to mention that Andrea Cutie would be playing that marksman role on the gold lane, but he is getting low again and possibly a kill, but no. The shuffling, the reshuffling again of that aggro on the tower would be the saving grace of B4G. Midside though, the Faramis is going to be fighting out onto the Selena. Will be taken down. AD a bit too aggressive there. Re-engage, not quite yet. But thankfully, Vigor with the Gushon. The blessing is quite in disguise as of now because it's a trade on trade of kills. And ooh, look at that. The damage though, Vigor has to flicker out. No, not flicker out, just ult out. And the flash out indeed will save his life, giving prio to the turtle. And it seems like Taggled wants to engage.
While I was talking earlier, we got interrupted because of the flash. Since they can't focus on the Fanny because it's too mobile, they have to focus somewhere else that gives very high damage output, which is the Clint. As we've seen earlier, they really pressured the Clint into just hugging his towers, and now we see a flash on the bottom side.
Ooh, the flash is not gonna go to the way of B4G. Already 3 members down. Vigor though on the Gushon will still have the blessing. Get a trade kill, make that 2, thankfully, for Panginoon. And Uranus is here to just get them that small advantage. Not quite the advantage that they want, but quite that they need. Jewel Cutie as well as AJX here on the re-engage, trying to save that turtle from going onto the B4G side. Has to go out because the members are flooding in from B4G. They will get the kill onto the turtle, and it's going to be the Gushon still in effect. Fanny has to get out. No more mobility for her. And AJX not gonna get that retribution ready for the turtle. First turtle will be to the side of our team B4G, and they will just look to again dive this Clint on the top lane. And it seems, Chino, that this Clint is not getting any rest for his trouble.
Not getting any breathing room, and now we can see that Vigor actually targets him, and he's down.
He's down already. No answers. They don't really care right now. They just want the turrets. They just want to make sure that even if our Clint is very much down in terms of his laning, in terms of his gold as well as the advantage, we still have the Akai, we still have that Faramis and that Fanny up and available to fight, to duel it out. If we can go late game here, Chino, I think that Clint will have some advantages, but to no avail. Still the kill lead and the kill lead coming in for the side of B4G. Fanny of AJX trying to come in, but It's a bit too tanky right now, even though he has damage. The members are out, and look at the health bars, very, very low. Melissa just poking, just trying to pick out all of these members, as well as that Gusion for Vigor, and the mega kill has been popped. All two towers on the top side and the mid side of the lane will be pressured, and Chino, I think this is a bit too heavy on the side of Taguild.
Yes, it's kind of a heavy on the side of Taggled, since they can't really determine who will their priority pick will be. Who will they pick off first? Because if they focus on the Melissa, Melissa has an ult that can deny anyone going near him. And yeah, while they go near him, there's actually bodyguards going for Argina, because he has the Vigor, he has Panginoon, he has everyone by his side, so they can't really aim at anyone that easily.
Yeah, it's very much let's say it's hard to dive the dive comp, especially when they have G-Nub on that Melissa. As you said, if you get close to her, you're really not getting close to her, because of course she has that ultimate and she has the bodyguards in the name of that Lucian. Fortunately, being taken down to the side of Taguild, they get the shutdown. They will go on to the second turtle. At least give them some breathing room, and if we get an item check, it's going to be 8 minutes into the game. And Rashid, what do we have here?
We're seeing a very passive right now from the side of B4G, because they want despite having a very diving composition, I think they're kind of scared right now that they're gonna overextend a little bit too much. So they're just gonna let B4G I mean Taguild. They're just wait. I'm kind of yes. From Taguild, they're just gonna let Taguild be the ones diving the composition of B4G.
Yeah, speaking of diving, seems like B4G is just gonna dive themselves and be engaged upon. Thankfully, that's the Uranus of Panginoon being very tanky, doing its job. I think that's the ultimate pop from the Faramis, not... Yeah, that's the ultimate pop from the Faramis, and it's pretty much no use. So far, they get the tower destroyed, they get what they want, but so far, kills are not happening. Never mind, that's a shutdown just in the snap of a finger. Fanny goes down to the Gushon, there goes Panginoon, the Uranus getting one more, a double kill right now. The Grok is down, as well as the Akai. No more tanks left, it's all left to Andre Cutie. This Clint has seen enough. He does not want to die anymore, but he will get dove anywhere. Killing spree. All 5 members wiped out. Thankfully, Aito just respawned back, so it's not actually a wipeout. But I guess you could say, Chino, this is going to be a hard game. He gets caught though, but it's not them being taken down. It's the other way around. That's a double kill for the Melissa, and it seems like they're knocking on the gates right now of the base, and whatever engage they're trying to do, it's very much disjointed. What are they doing? It's 1-on-1 against 5. Chino, it seems like this tower is going to be pressured very, very early.
Yeah, because they have the pressuring factor from the Melissa, but now we can see that they really are abusing that. Oh, but he gets down actually.
Yeah, he gets down. They're a bit cheeky. They're getting into the faces. They want to end this really. 10 minutes in. Item checks. I think there's only 2 items here, Chino. And yeah, even though... Why is that Grok? Look at that Grok.
Actually, Grok right now, every Grok user actually is really leaning to the physical damage, because he has the passive where for every physical damage he actually gains additional health for it.
Oh, so it's a very tanky damage dealer. That's quite nice. But I don't think it's looking nice for the side of Taguild, as they're actually being compressed into the top red side. 4 members being pressured by the Rains on the bot side, and the rest of the members are just farming from B4G. It's enough to buy out, especially the space for this third turtle. I think it's already... No, yeah, it's already the Lord being bought out time for the side of B4G. Seems like they're gonna get it down and gonna walk down the mid lane, and it's already just a consolation kill from G-Nub onto the cliff. They're gonna die for more. However, that's going to be the Uranus very, very much alone, being joined right now by the rest of his team. And so far to say, the Lord has been called out. Lots of damage coming out. Those knives are very dangerous. You should not stay doing those knives, or else the Lucian will just take you down. First game, dominant start for the Goshen Blessing of B4G. And no matter what this Akai does, he's just gonna get dove upon. The Lord is gonna whack on the door, and they're gonna be looking for the end. They have the minions here, Rashid, and they're really
And
just
they're
wanting to
knocking.
end it.
They're knocking. The Lord is actually knocking on their door.
It's very hard to watch a monster kill for Vigor. They're just taking them all down. They're farming their KDAs, and it's
Are
already a
they gonna
game
defend? No.
over.
That ends it. That ends first game. The first game between B4G and Tagyo.
What a game.
What
I
a
did
game.
not expect it to be this fast. It was chaotic all throughout, and it was very at the very least it was a quick
Entertaining.
escape. It was entertaining, and it was a very quick game. Of course, MVP here would be the Melissa, not quite the Gushon, because of course he had some sloppy plays, but that
Yes,
Melissa
sir.
from
He
G Nob,
overextended a bit.
very much a good play from a good player, very steady as a rock, only
Mhm.
dying 3 times. And Rashid, can you break us down what happened throughout the game, even though, it was fast-paced, it was very hectic, what really happened inside?
So yeah, like I was saying earlier, before Tag Guild really had a struggling time to determine who would they focus on. They can't focus on uh the Melissa since Melissa has his ult. They can't focus on on Panginoon's Uranus because Uranus is very tanky. They can't focus. The only people they can focus on is the Mathilda and AD on his Selena. But that's to be expected since they're
Mhm.
really baiting Tagil to get the Selena or the Matilda since they have the lineup that that traps the
Mhm.
side of the side of Tagged. Well, on the side of B4G, they just kill anyone they see. Despite for example, they can really get the Fannies despite being very mobile. The Dan so cute on his grab despite being so tanky and jewel cutie. They can't really do a thing in the side of Tagil.
Yeah. It's really awkward to see that in the early stages of the game, you'd see
Mm-hmm.
that the Matilda lane has been the priority target per se of this Tagil team, but they're not really targeting the Melissa. Yes, they died early, but the more the game went through,
Mm-hmm.
we only saw that the Melissa was not very much in the action. She
Mm-hmm.
was just very much in the farm, just taking up all the gold in her lane, and the rest of B4G just went on skirmish after skirmish, taking fight after fight, and then after that ended, after the farming stage for the Melissa ended, they were just ready to just go in as 5, even provide the space for the Gusion to take that Lord,
Yes, sir.
and to no effect, the tanks, or basically the tank heroes of the side of Tag Guild, the Grok who's building physical damage, and the Akai was basically ineffective to say. We were seeing disjointed engages one by one instead of going in as a team. So I feel like if Tagged has something to improve upon, it's going to be their cohesiveness and their timings together as a team.
Yes, sir. And now we're going to the second game, and one potential changes in their lineup will have to be the Gushin, since they know that the Gushin in the hands of Vigor is very explosive. They have no choice other than to ban it because what can you say? The Gushin during the first game was very explosive, was very
Mhm.
impactful. So they have no choice than to ban it. If they don't, they're really gonna get a hard time winning the second game of this match.
Yeah, it's basically a litmus test from the side of
Mhm.
Tagel. They said, hey, let's try playing against Sagushon. Let's see how it goes. And there you go.
It
Your
didn't
Clint is
work.
not fed. It didn't
Yes.
work. He's just roaming around the map, getting the important objectives early for the game. And that basically just secured our game number 1 for B4G. We're going to be seeing in the next few moments the game number 2. It's quite fast, actually, guys. So if you're chatting anything, thank you for the for the comments.
Yes. Mhm.
Don't forget to share, and don't forget to make sure that your share is going to go on to the Facebook groups, not on your timeline, for it to be counted for our $5 giveaways. Of
Yes, sir.
course, thanks to our sponsors, T-Rex Arena, VXG, and Loot Box Funds for making this event possible. A season 3 on our Guilds Arena MLBB tournament. So,
Mm.
Rashid, coming to game number 2, what do you
Mhm.
expect for Taguild here to use or to just do in the draft and in the game to get at least a comeback for forcing that game 3?
Like I said earlier, they have to ban the Gushin. The Gushin is very powerful right now. Second, they have to know who's their consistent jungler. As we saw, they had AGX on the jungle side, but he had no answer on on who to focus on the side of B4G. And third, they have to have a more explosive lineup rather than going for a more sustainable. In the first game, we saw two sustainable heroes in the form of the Akai and the Grok, but to no avail. It didn't work. So they have to go for a more explosive. They have to, if they're gonna receive a punch, they have to punch back. That's
Yeah.
that's what they should do going into the second game.
Truly, they really need to just play the game as it is. It's not about scaling anymore. We've long passed that stage of the game, and the meta being that of a skirmish one, you're going to need to have at least assassins and
Mhm.
assassins, fighters, and marksmen that can deal with early game threats and can actually deal early be an early game threat as well. So without these adjustments, I think that our team of Taguild will go down 0-2. But let's give them some hope. Let's give them some chance. Let's say that they're actually fighting and they're really trying their hardest because
Mhm.
it was a close game until it wasn't last game.
Yes, sir. It was really a close game during on the first part of, or in the early parts of the match. But as time went on during the match, it was really leaning, or the win percentage was really leaning on the side of B4G.
Mm-hmm. B4G, well, who can blame them? They used the Gusion. They had, let's say, a strategy. For that,
Mm-hmm.
Melissa, they had the strategy to use that Uranus as a meat shield on the front lines. They knew that this was coming. They knew that they were going to be a team fight team on the side of Tagil. So they prepared and they actually just played it out as a snowball themselves. If you remember, they actually just never went away from each other. They just played out like a snowball. Let's say the Ube strategy, just sticking together, and that's something that Tagil, I think, did not do properly as they were going in one by one.
Yes, sir. So I probably think that B4G was expecting that Tangled will be going for a more sustainable or a longer team clash composition in the side of Tangled. So that's why B4G took the advantage of having a very diving composition in the form of Gushan, in the form of Matilda, in the form of Selena, so and the form of Uranus. So they really took advantage of that aggression, and they really held to it from the end, from the start up until the end.
Yeah, they held to it, and they actually really did not give any chance of a
Mm-hmm.
comeback for Tagild. We've seen fights, but those fights, let's say, were controlled. Even that three-man scenario or the three-man death from the clash between them in the bot side of things, they were just trying to get a tower, but then they only got wiped. But the two remaining members were able to clean up as well. So let's say it's a controlled team fight for the side of B4G. They really did not lose anything important, and they got the objective after that as well. So I would say that in this battle for third, they're gonna get 25 USD, so $5 each. Not bad, right, Chino?
Not bad.
So it's very much an important game. But let's talk about the game later, the grand finals. 10xGG versus MOJO. It's really really good for them right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite unusual that we're casting a battle for third, not actually a battle for who's gonna be in the grand finals. Because last
Yes,
time
sir.
on the Valorant side of things, we casted who's gonna go into the grand finals. But for this one, how are you feeling? This is is this going to be a very long night? Let's say for the grand finals, best of five, and as of now, guys. Oh, best of three. The grand finals are best of three, not a best of five. But as of
Mm-hmm.
right now, we're sorry guys for the small delay. We're waiting for the players to get into the lobby, just get themselves prepared for the second game. And the final thoughts here, Rashid, as I noticed our players going to the lobby. What are your
So
bets on the side of
mhm.
Tagil?
So going on the side of Taggled, if I were them, I would have to disregard any plans or any strats they would do, because whatever they have in mind, B4G will just go for the more aggressive lineup. So there's no answering that. If you're against a very aggressive lineup, you have to be aggressive too. You have to punch for you have to if you're gonna receive a punch, you have to punch back. It's a punch for punch kind of situation that I hope they're gonna do going into the second match. And I have to note some of the heroes that they used actually in the side of Taggle during the semifinals yesterday. So if AJX will be going to the gold lane, he will probably go with the Bruno pick, and then Andrea Cutie will go with his Faramis, and Danso Cute with his Ruby. Those heroes yesterday used by these players were very impactful despite losing to the hands of 10xGG. But sorry, for in the hands of MOJO. So yeah, if they're gonna go with these picks, I probably think that they would have a higher chance of winning this game.
Higher chance of winning this game means
Mhm.
forcing that game number 3, at least making B4G work for it. But I think the players are ready. They are here in the lobby. We're going to start on to the next game. We're going to the draft. So let's see if the Gusion is still going to be that top priority here in a bit of a minute. So earlier, if you remember the bats, I think it was the Masha, it was the Atlas, and then
Mhm.
Valentina and
Valentina and
1-1. So do you think it's still gonna be the same here, knowing that they can't really fight the Gusion if it's taken away?
um
Do you think it's
wait,
the same or
what's your
not?
question? What's your question again?
Do you think the bans are going to be the same for game number 2?
No, in the side of Tiger, they'll have to readjust. Like I said, and again and again, they have to readjust it and make it their priority ban to be the Gusion, because it will be very problematic on their side if they're just gonna let the Gusion go. And yeah, I think if they're gonna be consistent with the Valentina, at least partner it with the Gusion, or else yeah, you're gonna have
Your
one
team is
one time of
banning.
a problematic match.
Problematic match. Let's see if it is going to be one of those matches. As we see, as we show the sides, red side for this for B4G and blue side
The
for
fire of
Tagil,
battle.
and they're gonna
Your
go with
team
the
is banning.
Masha and and we're gonna go
Your
for the
team is
Masha
banning.
ban, and Atlas still going to be banned out here. So I think it's it's
Sir,
still
what's your
this is
command? Your
okay.
team
This is
is
very much
banning.
confusing, Sheena. Walk me through here.
So with the bans of wait of the bands of Tagged, so they banned Fanny, they banned Masha. Like I said, they don't want Panginoon to have the Masha because it's very pesky, but nonetheless they let the Gushen slide. So I think
Cure the pain.
I don't know what they're
Your
gonna do
team
with
is
that, if
picking.
they're gonna let the Gushen slide. I was talking earlier, Andrea Cutie was in his best form with the Faramis pick, so I don't know if he's gonna pick that right now or no. But yeah, they let the Gushen slide, and we'll see how they're gonna counter it if ever
Your team is
Team
picking.
B4G will pick that.
Yeah, so awkward situation na. Seems that let's say the word for Team Tagil is stubborn. They're gonna pick
Your team is
two
picking.
powerhouses in the name of Paquito and that Gushan we were talking about, but the counter to that would be the Bruno, possibly the Hover, right? Not actually the pick. So options are going to be laid out here for the side of our team Tagil, and if ever they need to pick that 1-1 which was banned out last game, they're gonna have to actually pick it this time, but a quick rotation or a quick change of things will lock
Your
in the
team is
Yuzong
picking.
and that Bruno. So thoughts here, Shino. What are they trying to do with their composition?
So like I said earlier, that Ajax would be in his best form, the Bruno, since it was very impactful despite losing. And in the side of B4G, they went for the Paquito and the Gushun. I think they're going with the Gushun position forward. They're gonna go with the position with the mid lane Gushun, while having a very impactful
When the body
jungler in the
suffers,
hands of
your
Paquito
team
and
is
Vigor.
banned.
Actually, Vigor yesterday he used the Leomord and during one of his matches, but they unfortunately lost with it. But I believe Vigor with this Paquito is a very impactful one here, and they also went with the Benedetta. So this lineup from B4G is again a very aggressive
Your
lineup
team
because they
is
have a lot
banned.
of dashes in their arsenals.
Lots of dashes, and let's say it's again one of those live compositions that we like to see, but they're going up against Guild, who also seems to be a dive composition. You know that Bruno is a very mobile marksman. Yuzong as well, very much sustainable, very much
The night
mobile
sky
in
tells
terms
your
of
team
his
is picking.
movement. But again, it's going to be the same story if we get in game that early game, very much mobile heroes inside of the map. And it's going to be roaming around. It's going to be a fight wherein you're gonna see everyone dying everywhere. But hovers right now for the marksman of our team B4G. They have two options. Make that three. And they're thinking about
Time and
which one to
tide
use. The
wait for no
Beatrix
man.
will be
Your
the
team
one to
is
counter
picking.
this Bruno.
Hoot hoot.
And
Horology is my
quickly a
craft.
lock-in
Diggy
on
is
the
my
Diggy.
name.
Thoughts here, Chino? Why are they so quick on this?
So it's very questionable that they picked the Diggy because since the team composition so far of Team B4G does not have a hard lock. So that's very questionable because Diggy is a hero that you would pick when the opposition has a hard stun or hard
Still
lock. So they
Your
went
swords
with the
team is
Diggy and
running.
Ling.
picking.
So I think they heard me that they would also go with the dive composition here, because Ling practically can go anywhere around the map and just farm, kill, and anyone he sees.
Okay, so the Ling end up against a Paquito
Let's get
is
this
going to
over
be
with. I'm
very,
starting to get
very.
bored.
I don't say it's gonna be a good one because Paquito can actually just out sustain, out damage this Ling once he gets the combo off. But it's still pretty sketchy for me for Toggle. This is a better composition, arguably. Oh, they're switching it out. It's the you no. They're not switching it out. Just swap the champions for each other. Estes would be the final pick for P4G and possibly an Ube strat here for the side of B4G, don't you think?
Like you said, it's a very ube but aggressive one. Since
Welcome
yeah,
to
three
Mobile
of them
Legends!
are have the diving potential in the form of Benedetta,
5 seconds
Quito,
till
and
the enemy
Gushin.
reaches the
But
battlefield.
they have
Smash them!
to understand that once their Estes
All
gets killed
troops
without
deployed!
even releasing his ult, they're practically screwed because that's their only way, or that's their only a chance of of going in and going out alive. So
That's very
in the side of
go ahead.
Tagil, their target has to be the Estes, or else um they're gonna be there's gonna be problems in their lineup.
Yeah, that's the only problem that they have. That's a quick flicker out. He knows he's dead. Their AD has to get out quickly from this two-man combo. Bot side, the heal has been used for AJX, and it seems that they switch positions here. Andre Cutie, not on that carry. He's going to be on that dig. They're gonna try to go on to this Estes, and it
First
seems like the
blood!
first blood will be taken by that little bird Diggy with the first blood. And it seems like what you're saying is true here, Shino. They want to take out this Estes early because if he gets out of hand, then the rest of the team of B4G will get out
Oh,
of hand as
mhm.
well.
So going in the early lanes of this two, we can see that Gino was really accompanied by CS7 in his Estes. So they really wanna aggro AGX here. But now we can
Oh!
see there that the link is going inside.
Oh! Not quite enough damage. Genob has to get out of the way because before this pause, that Ling almost one-shot him. And there were three people in the lane as well, so that quite a risky dive, but still paid off very, very well, putting that Beatrix in a very hard position. So right now, Chino, state of the game, how are things looking for the side of Tagil now that they have at least tempo for this game number 2?
So yeah, as I was saying, Tagil has the early advantage here, or they have early momentum since the Ling is very mobile even in the early parts of the game. So yeah, Lyle can easily go around and just harass any lane that he wants or he picks, but he wants to focus on the bottom side here since CS7 is always accompanying Gnob, so it's very hard to kill Gnob. So they have to kill CS7 first using the damage output of Lyle in a sling.
Yeah, this Ling with Lyle Sling. Wow, that's a tongue twister right there. Lyle Sling is very much a threat. 1 minute and 30 seconds into the game, he's already a threat. So that's going to be something that B4G has to take note of. Benedetta on the top side has to ask from help from the Paquito. And it seems like Dan will not get anything. At least taking that Benedetta to low health, but the answer for help has been called out. Or the attention for help has been called out. From that, Paquito will get the second blood of the game. And seems like trade blows up will happen. Turtle will spawn though. So movements around the map, positionings around the map has to be on point for both of the teams here. And seems like Lucian from AD is going to be rotating up again. They want to shut down this Yuzong. This Benedetta is not in a good spot. But right now, so is that Yuzong. Dansokit has to get out. Combo has been delayed here for the side of the Gushon, but not quite enough damage to take it out. Here comes the backup though from Tagild. They will walk to secure this kill, but to no avail. They just made themselves waste skills. And the Paquito though will finally finish off that Ling. If you're talking about damage, talk about me at least. And that will secure this Turtle coming out, as well as that shot from G-Nub on the long gun of that Beatrix sniper. Quite very heavy on damage, and seems like after that good early game from the side of Tagild, well, it's still the early game, but it's pretty hard and heavy, the comeback from the side of B4G.
And yeah, we saw that the Ling was very bursted out, or dealt a lot of damage from the Paquito because he really used his ult early on, so that's why he was made into an early target with the skirmish in the bot side.
They will take down one, that's the Estes, but here comes the re-engage by the Gushon. Will take down a 1-for-1. He gets caught, but to no avail. Here comes that Paquito. Ling has to get out. That's a 1 HP, literally. As the rotations will be coming out, again, the macro on this team of B4G is pretty good. They know how to strike and they know where to strike. Flicker forward, that's going to be the slay for the Bruno onto the Beatrix. Can they make sure that this Paquito does not get anything more? They will connect. Faramis will get that kill. Aito will get that kill. And this is at least breathing room right now for Tagild.
Yes, sir. They really they're trying to deny the aggression that Vigor can deal with this Paquito. So that's why Andrea Cutie right now is hugging AGX so that they can't he can't get bursted out by the Paquito. But instead they burst out Andrea Cutie.
Bursted out Andrea Cutie. I would say that's a consolation given that it's a Digi. So it's not really much of a worthwhile kill, but this is going to be one of a worthwhile kill. They used the ultimate, but the ball did not bounce quite enough. The heal will be there from the Estes. So at least a consolation kill found on the Digi, but an answer back there on the top side though will take them out of the picture again and again and again. That's Yuzong 03. Dan so cute, not looking too good right now. Turtle will be started here. And the Ling is there to answer back. Will get that Turtle, but no steal has happened. Paquito will get that kill. They need to back off right now. Being chased by Vigor. But the chase will not continue. That's at least the denial from anything more. But that's going to be the landing of the skill shot. Has to figure out, gets caught, has to get a kill, will get 1-for-1. At least deny, but no. Not quite enough health, not quite enough damage to finish off that Estes. The top side of things. This Yuzong is feeling the damage of him being outscaled.
Now we see that that Vigor, AD, and Panginoon are really focusing right now side, especially on killing Dan So Cute, because if they let the Yuzong go online or go explosive right now, it's gonna be problematic since that's the sustainable hero in the side of Tagil.
Yeah, they're really very much targeting smartly these players from Tagel. B4G, they're being engaged on in the mid side. Flicker will be used and they can actually turn this one around, but not
Mm-hmm.
ready. They're not ready. They're not gonna go for anything more. They know that they have the game under control, and right now it's just a slow burn for the side of Tageld. Can they actually keep up from all of these engages from B4G, or will they just shut down once again after these turrets are being targeted and will move on to the tier 2s?
So we've seen so far that that Aito and his Paramis, he rarely used his cult altar, so that's kind of a problem here in the side of Tagel, because he needs to be online. He needs to be keep in mind that he has to use his cult altar. As I was saying, he already used it, but for his own purpose, he has to use it in the use of the team clash.
They will get one more. Yuzong is always the target. Dan not really very cute here as they will dive on to the Parabs. Oh, will get that shutdown. Yeah, they will get the shutdown. They will get only one and they will be cleaned up and swept. Lyle on this lane has to get away. He's actually being caught and that's going to be the final shot in the air. I think they were overcalculating things here, Chino. They thought they got the kills already, but they did not expect the damage coming in from B4G.
Like I told you earlier, Aito has to use his ult in the sake of his other teammates, not for his own use. Because if he's gonna use it for his own, then there's no worth in using it or using the Paramis.
They will get at least 2 in return. No, make that only 1 in return. They're chasing for more. This Sling is trying to get a pick onto the Estes. But here comes Vigor on the Paquito in the back line. Killing spree. Onto that Yuzong will find one more going his way. Odd like right now for AD. 7-0 and 5. Make that a double kill as well. Not good indeed for Tagil as they are just hoping to at least get a good team fight out of this situation. So far, all the turrets tier 2s will be taken out. The Param is trying his best to make sustain happen, but the sustain is not there. Everyone is dead. That's a wipeout.
A wipeout indeed, my friend. They can't really focus on the Estes because they can't, or rather, they can't focus on the Estes because he's unfocusable. If they burst him out, they're gonna be bursted first by the other teammates of the Estes. So that's why they can't really determine on who to kill, on who to focus on first.
Yeah, they really don't know who to focus. And thanks to that, B4G, they just make sure that they can take out all these lost members from Tagil. Looking at the map right now, they're really scared to go out the base knowing that all of their outer turrets are down and out. They're just waiting for the Lord to spawn. Maybe this is where they'll make their comeback. So far, that's a confident Bruno, but he's gonna get shut down real quick. The shield will come in. They will find G-Nob, slaying him down. Answer back with the Benedetta, who quick in and out. Will get that kill from that Gushon. I did not expect that to happen. Gushon taking the kill. I thought it was gonna be Benedetta, but still, 2-4-1 special coming out right now for the side of Team B4G. Lyle will be caught out and they know where he is. They smell him in the waters. The Faramis will try to at least delay or steal probably, but no steals will happen this time around. The retribution is through onto the Lord and they will just march it down middle if I'm correct. No, it's gonna march down top lane. Still marching down onto a lane. And probably, if this is going to be the same as game number 1, it's gonna end early, 10 minutes into the game. Seems like deja vu, Chino.
Yes, sir. And like I told you, they can't really know in the side of Taggled who to focus. But earlier, see, we saw a little room for breathing in the side of Taggled, but to no avail that they didn't really took advantage of that, and instead they got killed, and that's how B4G got that easy Lord.
Yeah, pretty much a very easy lord. They don't have anyone to contest. They know that this team of Tagel is pretty much
Mhm.
scattered in the way that they play. And so far, they're using that scattered team to their advantage. Lord on the top side, while the rest of the members are going to be on that mid and bottom. They're gonna knock onto the Nexus. The base is being hit right now by the minions, but they're focusing on the team fight. Everyone's going in, no one's dead just yet, but low members on the side of B4G. They're still gonna be coming out on top though, already two dead for the side of Tagil, and the base is being whacked. The Nexus already low, 1/3 on HP, and seems like this S is the one focusing it, but they
And that
will go
ends it.
down and ends it all 2-0. Congratulations to
Congrats,
B4G
B4G.
Victory!
for winning it out on the battle for third. They will take home $25.
Mhm.
Know what a game that was, Rashid? Break it down a little bit for me.
So yeah, like I was telling you, they should focus on giving punch every time they receive a punch. But no, they went for a more passive lineup, and that's why that I think that's how they got the lose here in the second game. But kudos to AJX for going to the Bruno and made the match longer than possible. And yeah,
Yeah, they
that's all I
just
can say.
had to they just had to hold on, right? That's
Hmm.
all they also had to say, because it's a hard game. If you look at how they play as well, it's going to
Yes,
be very
sir.
hard, especially they want to team fight, but they're very much disjointed. They want to focus on a single target, but everyone is hitting someone else.
Hmm.
So I guess at the end of the day, coordination is what this team of B4G had better than Taguild. And if I'm not mistaken, they will take home $25 as a
Yes,
prize for
sir.
being the
That's
third place.
mhm.
Do we still get an interview, Mr. Producer, with the team? Or yeah,
Wait,
the
wait. I just want to note something in the side of B4G.
mhm.
They still made the Gushin 100% win rate in this tournament. So a big kudos for AD on holding on to that. And yeah, as I said, they really had an explosive lineup. So and that was the biggest factor in the side of B4G. So Taggart really didn't had any answers for them except for the Bruno who and the Diggy who did their best uh, on trying to answer those punches given to them by B4G.
Yeah, B4G, congratulations to them. Very much an explosive team, very much
Mm-hmm.
has what it takes to be on that grand final stage. But unfortunately, we're going to be seeing 10xGG versus MOJO later on. And again, guys, if you're new here, if you just got onto the stream, make sure to share the stream onto pages, not onto pages, onto
Yes,
groups, because
sir.
top share will get a 5 USD prize. You need to share this one on groups, not on your timeline for it to count.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. We're just going to be waiting for our players. If they want to be interviewed, we're yet to hear an answer from the producer. But so far, we're gonna just jump onto the call. So Rashid, after this game or this battle for third, what do you expect for the grand finals? Do you expect it to be this one-sided as well for whichever side it is, or would you think that it's gonna go on for just a bit longer before we can determine a clear advantage or a clear possible winner for that game?
So going in or basing in from the past performances of Team Mojo and Team 10xGG, I can say for sure that both teams will be having a punch for punch match since both of them have a very aggressive lineups. And also it's a race for Gushan. It's a race to get who gets the Gushan first, or at the very least, one of them bans it. But if no one, it's a race for who gets the Gushan because it's a matter of which team gets the Gushan because both cores both junglers of Team Mojo and Team 10xGG are really have excellent Gusion players. So I think that would be the most or the biggest factors going into the finals right now.
Yeah, biggest factor is that we always get to see this Gusion still be 100% in terms of win rate, and if
Mhm.
it's ever going to be banned out later, that is a question that we need to answer. Do they ban out the Gusion and leave out something like a Valentina Open, a Masha Open, or maybe possibly what else is a possible as a good pick that needs to be banned? Say an Atlas Open for team fights. Do
Oh,
we?
actually, I have
Mhm.
to note that since I actually have my notepad with me. Some of the
Mhm.
key heroes that both teams are very very excellent. And so from Team Mojo, it's either they're gonna go with the Fanny or the Gusion in the hands of Luke Tizzy, who is their jungler. Because Luke Tizzy on the last match between Mojo and Tago, he was really unanswerable. There was no answer on how his Fanny was going to go, and his alongside him was Tong, who was very excellent using the Atlas. So I think these two people these two players will be the biggest factor on the side of Team Mojo.
I think we're not gonna have an interview with the winner for the third for the
Hmm.
battle for third from B4G, but that's going to be leaving us. I think we're gonna go on the break before
Yes,
this
sir.
grand finals.
So we will be
Guys,
back
we'll be back for a bit here. Up next, the grand finals, 10xGG versus Mojo. You
versus
do not
Team
want to
Mojo. Hmm.
miss it. This is Ellen Chino, your casters for today, and we will see you in a bit. Don't go anywhere because more action will come into you. Grand finals for the season 3 of Guilds Arena, Mobile Legends Guilds Revenge. See you guys in a bit.
We are
Welcome
back.
back, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be the grand finals for the Guilds Arena Season 3 MLBB Guilds Revenge. This is
Yes,
Ellen.
sir.
With me is
Uh,
Chino as my
oh,
analyst for tonight. On our grand finals, we have 10xGG versus MOJO. And again, before anything starts, we would like to thank our sponsors that made this event possible. T-Rex Arena, VXG Lootbox Funds, and of course, Haiwan from Taggled for helping organize this event. Now, Chino, this is going to be the finals. What do you
mhm.
think will happen? Is the Gushan blessing still gonna be true for both teams since they both want the pick? Or will it be finally banned away from each other's hands? What do you think for this grand final?
I think it will be a battle who gets the Gushin first.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that no matter who gets the Gushin, the other one or the other team has an answer for that Gushin. Because we all know Gushin only has is only human after all. So he
Mm-hmm.
also has his counter picks or kryptonite if he were Superman. So we're just gonna see if they're gonna let if either team lets the other team pick the Gushin, or are they just gonna ban it from the start?
Yes, of course. Will they ban it? Will they counter pick it? Or will they pick it
Mm-hmm.
themselves? That's the question that needs to be answered right now. But of course, if you guys are watching, don't forget that we have a top sharer prize. This share is not the share on your timeline that we're talking about. It's the share onto the groups that you are currently
Yes,
in.
sir.
So whoever has the most shares from yesterday's stream and today's stream will get a prize of 5 USD sent directly to you. Just join the Discord and we will direct you to your prize. Of course, thanks to our viewers for making this possible. How are you guys doing? Who do you think will win for tonight's grand finals? Comment it down below on the comment section. If you're supporting
Team Mojo.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Team
Or
Mojo or
Team
Team 10xGG.
10XGG.
So right now, I think it's worth to mention, Rashid, that
Mm-hmm.
who's going to be starting on the blue side? It's 10xGG, if I believe.
Yes, it's actually 10x. It's actually 10XGG on the blue side. So it's their they have the first opportunity to either ban or pick the Gushin. If they decide to ban it, then they have to have their own answer on what to substitute that Gushin since they ban it. Since Dubsteps, the jungler of 10xGG, is very excellent on his Gushin, so we may never know if he's gonna pick it or he's gonna ban it for the sake of their own team. Well, of on the side of um team uh team Mojo, I don't think they care if the I don't think they care if the Gushin get picks or bans because their jungler Luke TZ is very flexible on his role. So he has a lot of heroes on his arsenal. So we're gonna see how wide or how deep that arsenal is.
Mhm. We're going to see if they can play anything other than the Gusion. That's basically it.
Hmm.
So, other than the Gusion indeed, what's your thoughts, Chino? What can you play besides the Gusion if in the case it's going to be banned for both teams? What's the most or the closest possible pick? We've seen the
Hmm.
Ling, but what else do you think would be picked?
Um,
Your team
in the
is
side of Team
banning.
XGG, Dubsteps has the alternative to go with Paquito, signature Paquito, while in the side of Luke TZ, he has his signature Fanny as well. So yeah, I hope we can see another hero besides Gushon, Paquito, and Fanny to go in their lineups.
Yes, the
Sir,
Paquito, the
what's your
Fanny.
command? Your
We've seen the
team
Ling
is banning.
earlier. But right now, what are
I
we
think
seeing here?
10XGG did their homework. They know that Luke TZ is very explosive than
Karaji is
Fanny.
my
That's why they
team
banned
is
it first.
banning.
They're not gonna ban the Gushin. They're just gonna ban the Fanny. That is the signature hero of Luke TZ. I think they're gonna have problems if they're gonna hand it or hand the Fanny in the side of Team Mojo.
Yeah, Diggy would be banned here for the side of Mojo. So this seems to me
Mm-hmm.
that 10xGG would pick
To
something
me,
or
your team
heroes
is
that have
banning.
hard CC.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to avoid the Diggy, and it seems like Mojo as well. They want to pick heroes that have hard CC as well. So if ever this is going to be a team fight oriented approach onto the
I
game,
didn't cure
we're not really
anything.
going to care
I
about
Your team
much
is picking.
if the Gushon is gonna come through, because at the end of the day, if you take away these supporting casts, well, yes, the Gushon would still be there expected, probably here for the side of 10x
10XG.
GG, but they're taking a long time. They're not really picking it really fast,
They're
so
really thinking of what they're gonna prioritize first. It's either the Gusion or something else that they have in mind. And actually,
Your
actually
team
see
mm-hmm.
is
the band
picking.
in the side of Team Mojo, the Diggy and the
To
Valentino,
live
because
is to trick the
yesterday during their matches, Tong is actually their support or their boss five, their roamer, and he is very excellent in Atlas. So they banned two of the most counter-picked hero against an Atlas, which were Valentina and Diggy. So I think they're gonna go later on with the Atlas pick. They're just not gonna reveal it that
Your
early on.
team is picking.
Yes, they're not gonna reveal it, but the problem is this is the 1-2 punch combo that we're talking about earlier. We saw it earlier from I guess it was before G. Right now, Mojo will do it as well. They will pick out the Paquito and they will pick
And
out the
the
Gushon.
Gusion.
So deadly duo, whichever can play. I mean, these two heroes, they can play both the core position. So whichever will pick the
Your
resolution,
team
it
is
doesn't really
picking.
matter. But the quick counter to that, as they have the Eve here on 10x GG, they will use the Eve as a sort of
Your team is
preventing these two
banning.
mobile carries from going into the backline with that real world manipulation, and the Masha as well, the fighter that's going to be taking care of Paquito. Well, it's going to be there, and it's going to be a hard
Time and tide
time
wait
for
for no
Mojo to get
team is
anything
banning.
easy, because 10x GG, they did their homework and they're doing it properly, so with good picks and counter picks.
So going back to the side of Team Mojo, so far from their lineup yesterday, I've seen Kuroki with his Claude. So right now he already picked it, but
Your team
Silobo
is
and
picking.
Luktizi, they went for a different route. They went for the Paquito Gushen pick. So I think they're going with a different lineup here. And the side of Team 10xGG, they went with their comfort pick of Nofumi Ines Faramis, because Nofumi Ines Faramis was very
Your team
explosive.
is
He
picking.
did the right timings in doing so, and yeah, uh, this is my first time seeing Monkey on his Masha as well as Devil Smile on the Eve. So I think we're gonna go with a very team clash oriented lineup here in the side of 10xGG.
Yeah, 10x GG. They know that the counter to an assassin is just team fighting it, because if it's going to be a team fight, you're going to have a hard time in
Mhm.
actually getting the pickoffs when everyone is close together. So these
Your
last two
team is
picks
picking.
for the side of 10x GG, talk me through it, Chino. What are they trying to do? How are they trying to round out their composition, especially with that glue? I think it's
No,
glue.
that's the
Yeah,
Atlas. That's the new
Atlas,
skin of
Atlas.
Atlas. So like I was telling you, they banned Diggy, they banned Valentina in order for them to have an easier play style here for Tong in his Atlas. I've seen yesterday. The Atlas was very remarkable from Tong. So we're just gonna see if he's gonna bring that kind of remarkableness going into the grand finals. And this is the first match between Team Mojo and 10xGG in the grand finals of this tournament.
Yeah, pretty much a very, very good start to game number one. It's
Welcome
actually
to
very
Mobile
confusing, no?
Legends.
Who's going to actually get out the win? Because so far,
5
all of
seconds
these
till the enemy
heroes
reaches the
have
battlefield.
carry
Smash
capability.
them.
They can
Mhm.
actually play it out
All troops
to their
deployed.
liking, especially on the side of Mojo. They have team fights, but on the other side as well, 10xGG, they also have team fights. So it's gonna be, at the end of the day, a brawl fest. Very much hard to predict who's going to be winning. So here we go. Game number one of the grand finals. We're already seeing pressure on the mid lane. Answered back here from the side of 10xGG. And whoever can protect their carry the most here would be the key to victory. The side lanes, as we try to look upon it. What side? Masha, Pakito lineup or matchup. How does this go, Chino?
So early on in the match, we can see that Paquito has a scaling level, so he can't really scale without his items, without his levels. So that's where the Masha goes is has the advantage because Masha has a very big or large base health. So that's why he has the advantage. He can't be bursted out by Sivable and his Paquito, and that's how it's gonna go. I think in the early on the laning stage.
Truly, it's very, very hard to deal with this Smash, especially she has three health bars, right? Three
Yes, sir.
health bars, and
Yeah, that's three health
it's
bars.
not it's not gonna be an easy way to punch through. We're going to see Luke TC try to steal this blue buff. Response is very quick. Actually, he might go down. He actually gets it, but will it be worthwhile for him? He's trying to go in, and that's going to be the first blood. The horse comes through just in time to save him on this pick. They will get one more. The counter back will be taken by Sora from the top side of things, but at least the damage has been done. The first blood, the first strike is going to be true, and seems like they want to answer back. Will flicker forward, and they will almost get the kill, but not quite enough. No shot here for Sora. Too aggressive and too very much dangerous for the side of Kudoski for trying to attempt that one.
Now we're seeing here that they're trying to aggress Sivable because, like I said, he has to scale first. If he can't scale, he can't do anything going forward in this. And we're seeing a very early aggression from Monkey in his Masha, and he's going down.
Oh, he's
Oh,
they're trying to chase the he's trying to chase the wrong person here. But yeah, the Leomord very much mobile will still get that kill onto that mid laner, and right now we're going to be very much seeing the first turtle being started. They have numbers advantage on right now. It's going very easy. They're actually not being contested, so easy gets that one away, and
yes, sir.
snowballing is the key here for the side of Team MOJO. They're pretty much prepared for the contingencies of this counter plans by the side of the next GG. They want to play together, they want to go for aggressive picks, force them to be together as well, and just team fight their way out to victory. Their Atlas snowballing as to with that Gushon as well, and rotating wherever they need help. This is a good plan here, Chino, but what does NXG have to do to counter that good plan?
What 10xG has to do here is just to focus on the key players of Team Mojo. Like I said, that was key player Kudoski was very impactful pause 4, so they have to focus on that. They have to focus also on Luke TZ because if Luke TZ goes online with his Leomord, I think that's a very big problem inside of 10xG. Because here Tong gets the
Oh!
two-man set.
Or they will get a two-man set. Real world manipulation is going to be there, but that's still two kill. No, make that only a kill. Dulces just responding, double kill right now. They will get a shutdown though by the Eve, but damage is still going to be done. They're always getting the numbers advantage in these kills. Paquito going in will get a double kill masterfully. Shutdown is there, but the first strike has already been dealt. Again, Chino, it seems like Mojo, they're willing to go for these 2-for-1s because they themselves will be the sacrifice, and it's paying off. Top lane right now is being forced onto the second tower, even though the first is not broken, and they're trying to secure it. I like this game plan from Mojo, and it seems like 10xGG, even if they're prepared for it, they're not really taking the time to answer it preparedly.
And now, in the side of 10x, the side of Team Mojo, they just have to focus on just one key, actually two, if they can do it. It has it in the form of Devil Smile with his Eve, and now Fumi with his Paramis, because these two players, these two heroes are the most impactful players in terms of team clash. Because if they can't burst off these two, it will the fight will go on, and that's where the resources of Team Mojo will be depleted, and that will be problematic for them.
Very much problematic if they can't really find their proper targets here, Chino. So far,
Yes, sir.
everything is dead currently, and right now nothing is happening, but let me put myself on hold as something is indeed happening. They're trying to take an engage there, but the series went wrong. There's going to be a return kill for the side of MOJO. They got struck down first. Turrets going down on the other side of the map. A double kill for Luke TC. They will try to chase for the third one here. Now Fumi goes down. And it seems like the first bite is all that they can get here. 10xGG. Not really quite connecting on the rest of the team fight. But at least they managed to stop the bleeding in that team fight. But their towers will go down as a result of what they did. They're being left to the tier 2s, and seems like we're going to be waiting for another 1 minute before this turtle or lord possibly will be up. So another fight on the bottom lane. Will try to take Pakito out. Response is here, but gets taken away by the Atlas. No response, and pretty safe here for the side of MOJO. They're doing pretty good here, Sheila.
So I think we're gonna see here an early agreement from in the side of Tong, because Tong is very confident that he can set anyone. Actually, he's already satisfied getting 2 players, if not, and that's why he's very confident in those kind of sets, because he knows that there's a follow up by his teammates, even despite only setting 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, they're just really setting out all the key players that they need. That's not even a set. That they're just walking through the mid lane. They will try to find an answer the next GG, but it seems that they're going to be going down as well for that. They get the split push on the top side. Good, but not quite enough here, as the response will be there. They're actually gonna be pinging out this Bruno. Does Sora? No, he does not. Here comes the Atlas. He will try to fight his way through it, but that's enough CC. Ultimate, and oh, he actually gets 1 kill in return. The Atlas goes down. Has to outplay this Kuroki on the Claude. Has to get out. That's enough damage. And the back has been called. Oh, we'll get one more, but the monkey does not get the kill. Oh no, life for him. The horse, he takes them down, but meanwhile, all that is happening on the top side. Mid lane being forced onto the center of the map. They're trying to make sure that this wave is clear before they go to the Lord, at least the rest of the fight. But Dubstep is being threatened here by the Pakito. The Assassins really lose this fighter, and it seems like it's going to be that pretty small Mario the Felt being taken down. The Grecian Mark assassin to assassin as well. Real world manipulation a bit too late, but will get 1 kill in return. The tank. It's always the tank here, but they're pretty satisfied with what they have. The Lord has been 2-manned by the side of MOJO, and seems like all things is going well for them. Resets has to be made here for the next GG, and MOJO, they're pretty much consistent in what they want in the team fights that they're taking.
Now we seen there that was a very good initiation there by Tong, but luckily Devil Smile gets away with his Purify. That's why he wasn't yet caught, and that's how 10xGG turned the tides, because the Eve still lives and releases his real world manipulation. That's why they turned the tides, because the real world manipulation of Devil Smile is very is the X factor going forward in these team dashes.
Yeah, it's very much the saving base for 10xGG. If the Eve goes down, they all go down, probably. As the Lord still whacking onto the bot side, that's a lot of damage, almost taken down. Sora has to be breathing for life right now, and that's gonna force him out of this lane. Mid lane is not going to be contested. Cleared of all minions, but here comes the top side though. Real world manipulation goes down, will get a kill onto Kuroki, and that Claude is down for 25 seconds only. Still not enough time to be bought, as it's still gonna be turtling into the base. All this effort from 10xGG just to buy some time, and I don't think it's enough time here, Primo.
Like I said earlier, the Eve or Devil Smile just has to stay alive long enough to release his real world manipulation in order for their team to get a fighting chance. But now we can see here that Sivabo is trying to make a plan.
Trying to make a plan, they're trying to engage. That Nausea is on the front side, but the backside things not quite deep enough. Pakito will go down. That's already a win, a net positive here for the side of our team 10xGG. But the fight ensues. Everything is pretty healthy for the side of MOJO. So,
Yes, sir.
bit of an overextension, but still, given that they taken down Sora
Bruno.
and the Bruno, they can't push out of the
Mm-hmm.
base here. They still have to stay. So the lifeline right now for Team NXGG is going to be if they can make sure that this game goes long enough where they can get the items and the gold doesn't matter. 6k ahead, and MOJO, well, they don't really have anything to break the base because of the things that are happening. So they have to wait for the Lord, make sure that it goes down the lane while they take down another. So, Chino, it feels like we're on a waiting game right now.
Yes, they're just waiting for each other since, especially in the side of 10xGG because their lineup is very team dash oriented one. So they just have to wait that overextension given to them by Team Mojo.
Yeah. Very much a hard scenario per se if they want to ask Team Mojo for an overextension, because so far they're not doing anything of that sort. Lord will be started. The Lear mode will make his way there. Luke Easy is wanting to be watched. The rest of the team, and especially Devil Smile, is another. So if they can catch the real world manipulation onto the whole of the team, Mojo, well, it's pretty good for them. But so far, they're not taking any approaches. They're pretty scared of taking the fight here.
So since they know that Tong with Tong in his Atlas will be focusing on Devils, that's why they're the side of 10xGG, they're just trying to bodyguard Devil Smile. They're just trying to avoid Devil Smile getting captured here, so they have to focus on Tong, not getting near their Eve.
Yes. They have to make sure that it's not only Tong, I think. They have to make sure that Luke and Sivabol does not get a hand onto the Eve, as well as Kudowski. If this is a dive comp that's pretty tanky, so they can get a fight like this one on the top lane. Kuruki has to go out, but here comes the 4-man members or 14 members of the side of MOJO trying to answer back, but that's a pretty tanky target. They threatened that marksman, and he has a backup. So far,
Yes, sir.
this is the plan. They want to take the Lord into the side lane while they take care of the mid lane. Wonder if it's gonna work out. That's already engaged, being looked by Tong. And look at how deep that Taquito is. They're gonna try to take this fight. A 3-man set by Tong. They will take nothing so far. Everyone's still alive, but that's going to be short-lived as dubstep will go down. Lord is whacking onto the base, trying to go down, but still will be taken down by 10xGG. Another kill onto the Fumi. That's going to be Faram is down. Rest of the team will try to whack onto the base itself, but they have to reset because they're all so low. And Masha knows this, has to go try to get some kills, but no one is following up. That's a mega kill onto that Gushon. And it's going to be taking quite a longer time before this game ends, but they got what they wanted, MOJO. They taken down the top and mid final towers here.
So during the team clash, we can see that Sivabo really went for Devils. Devils man did chance or did have a choice than to go home under the protection of his fountain. That's why he was really disabled during the team clash, and he was late to release his real world manipulation. And by the time he released that, there mostly of the players of Team Mojo were outside the base, so that's why no one really got captured out inside the real world manipulation.
No one really got captured, and that's the problem, right? If you don't have anyone inside of that box, well, that means they're freely reigning. So it's hard if this Eve does not get any catch. Basically, a saving grace was them trying to force the fight afterwards, knowing that Mojo has low health. So this is the second time. They're gonna try to end the base. They're gonna take down the third tower, possibly. They're not gonna wait for the Lord anymore, Chino. But setup-wise, they're just waiting on the minions.
Sure, and while waiting for the minions, they're just gonna Lord response, because by the time that Lord spawns, it's either they have to engage first before going to the Lord, or they have to go to the Lord first in order for them to engage with the team of 10xGG, because they won't go outside if it's not for the Lord.
Yeah, they're not gonna go outside if it's not for even if it's not for the Lord. It's hard to go out as a 5-man team because of the threat of a backdoor. So right now they're gonna give the Lord, and seems like we're gonna be waiting for another ramp down the mid lane before anything happens in terms of a team fight. At least saving grace here is that they're basically farming up. They're basically scaling up. It's 15 minutes and look at those items. Everyone has hit their power spike. And no matter the goal that they have, they can fight. Even if it's a slight disadvantage or say a huge disadvantage, 11k up or down here on 10xGG. They need to take this fight with the real world manipulation and find the important picks. However, they have the resurrections. They have immortalities.
They have immortalities in their bag, so that's gonna be quite problematic. They have to burst them down as soon as possible, or else the fight will go on. And I don't think uh, team 10xG has the resources for them to keep the team fight longer as long as possible.
Very much so. There's the set. There's the real world manipulation. Is it enough? No, the kill spree will go down on the Hayabusa. They will get a double kill. Make that a triple. Make that a quad. Kill a maniac. Not given the rampage. The savage. But the game number 1 is just gonna end in a snap of the finger. Thanks to the Lord. And thanks to Tong's set. What an incredible set. The real world manipulation did not do anything.
Yes,
That's
sir.
game number 1 for MOJO.
Yes, sir. As I was saying, that's